Brad returned. Jax returned. Charlotte is a Cassadine. Actually, really a Spencer Corinthos. Diane went off on Julian. Danny got lines. Nathan spoke some French. And give Laura Wright that Emmy now. GH Report is next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
It's our song, you guys. It's our song. Sorry we're running a little late, but we are here. It is the GH Report here on AFTERBUZZ TV, the General Hospital After Show, and we're that was like blunt. And we are here to talk about the week that was in Port Charles, and we have a special guest in the studio live too. I'm James Lott Jr., one of your hosts. But I don't know why I didn't introduce myself. You know who I am, right? At this point, you know who I am. But next to me, I have some lovely people next to me. The girl who does all the reaction shots when I'm giving the intro, Miss Lacretia Lyon.
Hey guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one.
And sitting next to her is someone who's been one of the biggest supporters. You guys know her in the chat room. She also did a wonderful interview with me this week that was released this week. It's really, I read it, I was like, that person sounds really nice. This is James Lott Jr. person. And of course, I met her through the Dish and Days show. She's a fan of that one too. Our girl, Miss Carolyn Topol.
Hi, everybody.
Yay! Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Carolyn Topol on Twitter, Carolyn Topol on Instagram, and CarolynTopolTalk.com is the website where I put down all the interviews, and I share my books also.
I just love that accent. I can just hear it all day long. It's the east. It's the Northeast. I love it. And the guy sitting next to her, you know who he is.
That's right. They don't even need to introduce me. Let's
my
just move on with the show.
The guy who rants about everything. Frank Moran.
That's right. If you don't know where to find me now, why am I even bothering?
You know where he is. You know you can find him. Well, welcome, Carolyn, to the show.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you, now you did Dish and Days. She was on that show a little earlier, and then you're here now. Does it feel weird? How does it feel for you being in the studio? You watch this all the time.
Well, it's fun seeing it from this angle, and it's even more fun seeing what a modern studio looks like, because I haven't been in a studio since I graduated college.
Wow. It was only a few years ago.
Right.
Yeah. When you graduated college, right?
We'll go with that,
yes,
okay?
Yes, we'll go with that one.
Yeah, and they looked a little different back then, but this is fabulous. I'm having so much fun here seeing it from the other angle. And
Well,
also, I don't have to call in. See, usually, I confessed,
Yes.
when you guys start the show, I
Yes.
queue up the phone number.
Oh, I had a feeling. I had a feeling. You're
Absolutely. And so, like, as soon as you have it, I have a trigger finger. I'm taking calls now.
You've heard her secrets at home. What are you going to say, Frank?
So we've got champagne. I know Dish and Days had pizza rolls. Which one do you like it better so far?
I didn't eat any pizza rolls, so guess
Cheers.
what?
Right. Cheers to Carolyn for being one of a great fan. Like you guys out there, we appreciate you very much. Cheers. Cheers. We do. Without you guys, literally, we're talking to ourselves. I think we should give Frank the nickname The Ranter. Do it. Sure, why not?
All right.
Sounds very superhero-esque.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
You're the renter.
The Ranter. Yes.
Just imagine
What's your
Stein saying
sound that you have to make? Let's get it. Every time. I love it. Oh, my God, I love it.
I want to tweet Victor Garver to say that in Stein's voice. The renter.
You should. You can follow us on the Facebook page. What's our Facebook page? The GH Report. I'm going to blink for a second. I do so many shows, it's crazy. The GH Report, and we're still trying to get to a certain amount of likes.
It's 2,000, guys. I don't even want to say the number because it's impossible. It's like saying, hey, guess what? We're also going to build a rocket and launch ourselves to the moon.
Nothing's impossiing's impossible.
2,000 likes, impossible. It's impossible.
Grumpy Frank, love Frank's rants. They like saying some nice stuff to you. They're like Carolyn's in there. They like that in there. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Like spell your last name, Carolyn. They said.
Oh, okay.
I wrote it in there.
She wrote it in there. Topol.
It's Topol.
Topol. For you podcast listeners.
Yeah.
I still love you, Frank, though. Or LOL.
Oh, gosh. Thanks, guys.
Alexis is in the studio. Daquan. She just spoke.
I'm here.
She's there. she's our official fourth member of the group.
Yeah.
It's Alexis Torres, A Torres, 890, where all Alexis Torres are sold.
Oh, thanks, James.
That's right, of course. Okay, so I want to start. I'm going to do something completely different before we get into the actual storylines. This is something I want to ask you guys out there, because you guys do comments. I want you to tell me why. Because this week, Jason and Sam had a couple of scenes and I was bored to death. we get a lot of flack for not being positive about them. Even though we do like both actresses. I see what's happening already. We like both actors, but I want to know for you J-Sam fans, tell me what you're happy about, not just because you like them, but their storylines now. If you like their storyline, please tell me why, because I'm really curious, actually, because I feel like they're not being used enough.
Yeah. We get tweeted.
Yeah. Go first. Go first. Want to say anything?
I would say, I would love to talk to these people. Anybody that likes their storyline right now, wow, let's go hang out and have a cup of coffee. That would be amazing to me. Why you would think that right now they're being best utilized?
Yeah, they're not being utilized at all.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is like, let me know what you like about this, because I don't see it, and maybe if you can tell me, then I will know. But yeah, I was a big Jason and Sam fan with Steve Burton, and this isn't a comment on Billy Miller or his performance. It's just their story is so boring. It's pizza roll material, apparently.
Oh, actually, folks are saying, okay, now folks are telling me they're boring.
Yeah.
They blame Billy Miller. Oh, my God.
No, I don't blame Billy Miller. I love Billy Miller.
Me too. Love him, too.
It sort of seems to me like they're supporting characters now, which is bizarre for those two characters to become supporting characters.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Carolyn. Exactly. They're both leads.
Yeah.
They usually drive story, right? Usually in the past they do.
And it's like Sam is driving, Alexis is drinking story.
I like that, though.
I mean, but she's still very much just you didn't have the drink with her grands while babysitting, and then I'm sort of confused if Jason is supposed to be going back to Sunny or not. So I'm still wondering what's going to happen with this storyline.
I hope not, but we'll see.
Because literally, everybody's talking about now, people are like, Billy Miller better as Jake. So did I, as Jake does. Right now, because literally the only thing they had was like, he walked in, she was sitting there, they talked about whatever, and it was like, that was their scene. They were laying on the couch together, kind of, and that's it.
It's so frustrating. We've talked about this so many times that when he was revealed to be Jason, there were so many potential storylines that were possible for that character, and they chose the least interesting thing to do with him, which is just to make him just kind of be static.
Yeah, I agree. I missed the Bonnie and Clyde J-Sam, okay?
Yeah,
I did like them together to investigate the cell phone. People are saying some people say they like just because they're shipping them. Jason is too boring, way too soft. Where are the badasses? Okay, like that. They both were doers. I mean, Sam was a doer. He was a doer. It's kind of like I just want to say I give you guys enough time to tell me something. I just want to say because we're curious because we get a lot of flack for it all the time, and all we're just saying is that we're just like wanting to see what you're seeing. We don't see. We feel like they're not being used.
Well, and the other thing is, like, I really envisioned that when they finally remarried, riding off on a motorcycle kind of thing. But of course, if she's not supposed to be pregnant, it's a whole different storyline now.
I agree.
It's very different.
They're not even married. Yeah. They're not even married.
They are.
They're married.
Remember they
see how boring.
They're really boring remarried.
Remember that awful little short wedding at Sonny and Carly's house?
Oh, that's right. I forgot they did get married. Oh yeah, I forgot. See how
Yeah, Stephanie Stegner in the chat, laying on the couch eating pretzels. Really? Yeah, I agree. I'm just like, that's cute, but that's Chelsea and Adam on the Y&R. That's not.
No, some folks are saying they like the characters. Yes, I have no problem with the characters too, Rodale. I saw. Yeah, I have no problem with the characters. I just think they should. They're going to build their story. Should really make it something exciting.
Yeah, and I think we've said that so many times that in the chat. It's not the characters. It's just their storyline. There's just nothing to do other than just sitting there and just that dumb song that plays for them. Whew, that Jason and Sam song is the pits.
Oh, you're married.
Yeah, we need to call Chris Arena to
I have to say this. Tough Legend said, I'm glad you guys have the guts to critic J. Sam. You're being honest, James. Thank you. Yeah. We're trying to be. We want like Frank said, like what'd you say last week? We were asking you, why do you watch the show? Tell him.
Because I just want those sweet kisses.
No, I'm just saying.
Is that what I said?
No, that's what you said.
No, I think I speak for all of us. We're all incredibly passionate about the show, and we just want it to be told as well as possible. When you see storylines and characters that are being underutilized or miswritten, then it just frustrates us.
I agree. I totally agree with what Rick said. That's exactly what it is. We want them to be the best. We want the best show. Show's been on 4 years. We want it to be the best show it is. We love it, right, Carolyn?
I think so. Of course. I mean, it's a wonderful show. I've loved it for decades.
Yeah, me too, girl.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. And Curtis should be shirtless in every scene.
And same thing with Dr. Hot Priest. He doesn't need to wear clothes. Just the collar, no clothes.
God,
Jeez.
Not go a little too far.
So I can't even talk about it. I was still stuck on Curtis with no shirt.
Yeah.
When he went homegirl. Okay, so I can't get it out. I'm getting a little too excited when I almost said Valerie. Almost said Vanessa. When what's her name?
Jordan.
Jordan tried to slap him and he grabbed her arm.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was so manly. I was just like, Curtis, you can grab my arm like that too. That's how I felt. But yes. Anyway,
I knew all that heat would lead to
Yes.
that.
yes. Okay, so let's go. Let's start with our first storyline.
Well, because this is probably one of the dumber storylines. This story is just
Yes.
whatever. Is Alexis and the cookies and the booze and the almost killing Dan.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Should I say this? I have grandchildren, and I know how to handle my booze while I have my grandchildren. I've never had a problem. I've never fallen asleep and had cookies while drinking wine with my grandchildren. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's like,
alive.
what is with Alexis? I love that she spider findered.
Yes.
Do I have a drinking problem? I will say I've done that.
I do, but I don't care. What do you think, Carolyn?
The first thing I thought of was, it takes 10 friggin' minutes for cookies to bake. Come on.
Alexis can't hang.
All you have to
Exactly.
do is set the timer and then
Exactly.
have a drink.
Yeah, hello, exactly. We've all made cookies before. Come on.
Yeah.
For
And I
kids.
really don't need to see any more scenes of Alexis like coming in or out of her home, and there's like the long, like glancing, longing shot at the bottle of wine, like, oh, I'll miss you most of all, bottle of wine. Like, come on, we get it.
But Danny had lines this week. He told he had lines.
Yeah,
he got
he
to
did.
act. He was like,
cute.
Grandma, where's Grandpa? I'm like, oh, okay. But he had some lines. So, okay, I kind of was happy with that.
Him trying to wake Alexis.
Yes.
The little build up there to danger. It's like, yeah, it's just cookies burning. Like,
I know. And first of all, I don't know. I just feel like it was burnt a little too fast. I'm like you said,
Yeah.
these kind of cookies, the kind of you make are usually for kids. Like you cut them out, you put them on. They're like 5-10 minutes to cook. Your oven shouldn't go like in fire in like 2 minutes. I mean, I think it should take a little while before
Yeah.
they really burn, right? Toll House cookies, whatever. I think it should be. It was fast.
I don't bake it. True confession, I don't bake it all, but I can look at the labels, and they say 10 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, so it was kind of weird. But they're setting it up, right? They're setting it all up to say Alexis is bad and her drinking problem's happening. So now we endangered the child.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to see somebody descend into alcoholism and then climb their way out. This is the great show that I am so excited to watch.
Yes.
Day after day, week after week, with the bottle and the sleeping and just too much.
Well, I will do the devil's advocate. What they're trying to show is the slow build of addiction, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope they handle this storyline well because it is such a real storyline.
Yes, I agree.
Much like the bipolar, which was handled fairly well until the end. It's like you kind of need to give this, a really good run if you're trying to teach a lesson or
Yes.
show something. So that's what I'm worried about. And I liked Carolyn's suggestion last week, Carolyn Hennessy, about Diane being the one to help Alexis.
She was on this week. So happy. She had to see with Curtis real quick. You saw
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Yes. She wanted one. She said she wanted one. So, but anyway, so yeah, I'm like, to me, I think they're doing the build to like Alexis do something really bad while she's drunk. I think.
Like they did with Luke.
Yes. Even though.
And then they undid it.
They undid it. That was really interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. And Carolyn, I'm curious what you think about that too. Where they tried to intimate that Luke had a drinking problem. And basically, he talked himself kind of out like he didn't have a drinking problem. Like that big, remember the intervention
Yes.
episode?
That was some
which
of my
was beautiful.
favorite scenes,
Oh,
yeah.
me too. That
Yeah.
intervention. To me, okay, you could go online, go on YouTube, type in like Lucky confronts Luke. That scene where he confronts him after Jake's funeral. And so he takes it, and Luke's taking all the drinks, and like, I can do this, officer, I'm fine. And he slaps out of his hand, and he just kind of screams up, and Luke does this cry that's like so guttural. It's like such a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, that's probably one of my top 5 favorite scenes in General Hospital of
Mine
all
too.
time because you know how I feel about JJ's Lucky. But
Yeah.
the intervention was just so well done.
Yes, I agree.
To me, actually, my favorites were Nicholas and
Carly.
Dodge. I liked.
Dodge.
He's like A2 Dodge, and I just.
I like Carly's also, just because Carly's because Carly and Luke have this begrudgingly respect for each other, kind of in a weird way. It's her uncle, and it's like she kind of just tolerates him, but she loves him on some level. But how do you feel about that? I mean, do you think the Luke thing was like they should have kept it like where he was an alcoholic? Or do you think it was just kind of more Luke shouldn't be?
I do think that they should have just. I think they should have kept it because they forgive Luke a lot through the years, but I think they never denied. In fact, they reiterated at one point that he did rape Laura.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's a good thing to sugarcoat that. You know, he was drunk, and if you're drunk behind the wheel, and you've been drinking other times, it's not your first time drinking.
Yeah.
There's an issue. The story with Alexis. I really hope that they handle it well.
See, Carolyn's being now. Carolyn is much more mouthy on here, but she's been all being very polite. Tell us, girls, you're on TV. Tell us what you think. I love it. So that's that storyline. So what's the next one?
We've got we'll do Liz and Franco with the sketching and the smooching and parole hearing and vengeance plotting.
I actually really liked the
I love that
storyline.
scene.
I was like, this was one of the bright spots of the week because it was a good thing to bring back that for Liz in a good way that made sense, like him getting off on parole. And her bringing up Emily was what he was really charged with. It's like a good nod to history. And two, if you're Franco and you're someone who done horrible things in a similar fashion, how do you think of yourself? You're like, wait a minute, I'm just like that guy. And I did like that Liz reassured him that he had a tumor, and they're little. She was gonna paint him like one of her French girls. I was like, that was adorable.
It's like, wow. My feeling is, I have a hard time with Frizz. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm having a hard time with them. I love both actors. I love them both like the most. But I did like the use of history. I did like they brought up Tom Baker. I was like, oh my God, I remember that when she was raped and everything, and kind of the juxtaposition of his kind of pre-tumor life. I like that part, but I don't know. Anyway.
Because I feel like they're setting up Franco to be kind of revert to kind of form and to deal with this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they'll defy expectations and do a little something different, because I can't imagine him doing what he would usually do in a Franco situation and then expecting Liz to be like, that was so great.
Right.
I'm so glad I'm with you.
Right.
No.
Well, be clear that she did sort of plant that seed by saying that with Jason around, she wasn't afraid of him and that Jason was his savior. So I don't want to blame Elizabeth, but that's what Franco heard when she said that, because Jason is a killer. He takes care of things that way. So again, I don't want to blame Liz or, defend Franco's thought process, but that's what he heard when she said that. And to be honest, if I was in his situation, I would have thought the same thing. Oh, she likes the mop killer boy. That's her protector is. I'm going to kill this guy.
Yeah. I will say, folks out there, like you guys sitting here, I'm glad that Rebecca Hurst has a storyline, and Frizz actually has a storyline. I'll give it to you. That even makes it worse for J-Sam, because it's like they should have a storyline too. But I'm not a big fan of those two together, so I don't.
I think that's really. I like their storyline.
Okay.
And I like that it's becoming a layered storyline.
Okay.
Where you see the good and you see the not so good coming out also, and you kind of wonder which way it's going to go, because I'm actually curious to see where this is going to head.
Okay.
This is engaging me.
Okay. That's good. Hello, folks.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, Toph Lennon said they hated the Jason comment. To me, too, that sort of gave me a bad taste in my mouth, but it was to sort of set Franco up on this journey of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I honestly don't see him going through with it in the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I hope not, because I feel like in every other relationship he's been in, there's always been started off nice, and then something happens, and then he feels like he needs to do something. I got to Franco this problem, and then that just leads to some kind of argument or tension in the relationship. So I'm hoping just a little something different with Elizabeth, especially if they want this to go the distance.
Yeah, I hope they creatively have him be able to do something, like the writer sit in that writer's room and say, this is what we'll have him do, which is not typical Franco, but is certainly not sitting on his hands and doing nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, folks in here are kind of mixed. Some people are like me, they're not into Frizz. Other people are really enjoying it. And someone says we need a special episode with Liz confronting Tom.
I would like to see that.
Oh, wow, that'd be great.
Becky
that.
should get the Emmy reel for that.
Yeah. Because back in the day, because she didn't win back then. The rape episodes were so good.
Yeah.
It sounds weird saying that, but they were so well done. And aftermath, and Lucky, people are mentioning Lucky, of course,
right?
Saying that's her true love, of course.
Well, because to me, one of my favorite scenes, along with Lucky confronting Luke, was Lucky finding Liz in the park and taking her to Bobby and stuff like that. It's like those were such good scenes. Good, that's what brought their love story on.
Yep,
and it was, some of Becky's best work back then.
Yeah, I agree, except stuff with Jacob Young. That's another story. My third one.
Permanent lock.
That didn't happen.
Permanent lock.
My worst.
Yeah.
I love Jacob. Right now, he's doing great work on other shows. He was a great JR on All My Children.
He was the best JR.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
And he kind of saved the show, actually.
Yeah.
In many ways. Golden People's not really utilizing him as well as they could right now. But I didn't like. He's the least favorite Lucky of mine. Sorry.
Yeah,
Out of
I would
three.
agree.
No.
Like, I love Jacob Young, but that wasn't his role.
No.
And you
But
know,
Greg Vaughn was really good. I liked Greg
Yeah, I
Vaughn.
like Greg Vaughn when he was the
Yeah,
recast.
it's really good. So yeah. So
Frank has a look on his face.
I'll just agree to disagree.
I love it.
Greg Vaughn did
I
get
know.
crap.
Salty,
I
so
will say,
salty.
Greg Vaughn did get crap writing. You know,
Yeah, he
they
did
made
some.
him the bumbling cop. And I didn't, you know, until he was with Sam, it was like, okay, now he got a little bit better material.
Yes.
A lot of hot tubbing.
Yeah.
Hot tubbing Greg Vaughn.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I was talking about Sam and Curtis, and we talked about Jason. What about Sam and Jason and Curtis and the sleuthing and the pretzel
Yes.
throwing? We've already talked about the
I'm
pretzel
liking
throwing.
Jason and Curtis together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Again, well, I'm going to say this anyway. Donnell Turner has chemistry with the phone book, so anybody you pair him up with, it just seems to work. When him and Finn were exactly. When him and John L, hashtag John L. When Finn and him were working together, it worked. When they were working for Hayden, I like him and Jason together. It's like, oh, it's an interesting dynamic. They talk kind of smart to each other. He's not beating him up this time, thank God. They're trying to figure this out. They both are actually working for the same kind of outcome. They want to see what's going on. I like them together.
And I like how irritated Julian is with Curtis the whole time. It's like, I'm not paying you to find out, you know, this thing about Pete. I just want you to prove that Sonny's the one behind this.
Yes. Oh, I like the scene where when they're trying to order a drink.
Yeah.
And he couldn't really say, of course I would say you can't order a drink here. I mean, of course. And Curtis kind of goes, well, when you're done coddling the bartender, I'm like, well, you got a drink. Like, hello.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Curtis got you a drink. He was smart enough to get you a drink, so.
I mean, side tangent on Julian. That's what irritated me. Like, this guy is hated in
Yes.
town, and yet he insists to go to places.
Oh, yeah, he'll get it.
You can't tell me in Port Charles there's only the Metro Court and
Right.
the Floating
Floating
Rib.
Rib.
That's it. That's the only two places. No. What about Mac's Old Bar? What about the Outback? Where's that thing at?
Outback. Oh, the Outback. Oh.
Somebody's got to be sitting there drinking, right?
I just want to see people eat ribs at the Floating Rib, so that's just my whole thing.
Yeah.
So what do you think, girl, with the story?
Well, first of all, I think I was going to say Donnell. I think Curtis and Jason working together. I'm kind of liking that romance
Yeah.
thing. I really do, and I also really think that Julian clearly is involved, and he's getting the idea that maybe he hired the wrong person because he actually might get the right.
Yeah,
answers.
right, exactly.
And I'm really loving that foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
So you think basically Julian set it up to make it look like Sonny tried to kill him and then inadvertently killed
I
Morgan?
can see that.
And I think he hired somebody who was too smart to just go for Sonny, but to find the right answers. And so now he's like backpedaling it a little bit
Yeah.
and trying to say, no, that's not your job.
Yeah, so funny. You're right. I like that. That's interesting. I like that.
Well, I do know a little bit
Yeah.
of something to come. I think that
Yeah.
there's going to be more Jeromes, and that's all I can say.
Oh.
Because I've been
Oh, boy.
sworn to secrecy.
She figured it out. She
I
figured the word out.
it's like, hey, get one. But yeah, so I think that it's going to be a bigger and maybe more of a redemption storyline for Julian. Because I know that with Fado was here, he said something about there'd be more to Julian's
Yeah,
story.
more Julian's story, yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
So I think that'll come to play.
They're all hashtag bring the Outback back. Bring back the Outback.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Mac with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And I can understand what you're saying there about Julian because I feel like you would see some inkling if he was the one, if Morgan had died on something that he'd kind of set in motion, you'd at least see some inkling of like a pang of conscience.
Yeah, because he does
Okay.
care about Ava as opposed to like the rest of his family.
Love your theory,
Yeah.
Carolyn. Love your theory, they
Yeah.
said. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Funny. Okay. Next.
We've got, let's go Finn and Brad and Hayden with the beakers and the pathogens.
It's nice to see Brad, but
Yes.
not for this. And why did they make Hayden sick? It's there was no
I
reason
agree
to
with
do
you.
that.
I agree with you. I am like, you gotta be, sorry folks, you gotta be shitting me. I'm actually gonna cuss today. I think this storyline, no cheese and crackers, no God bless America, why are you shitting me?
Yeah.
I know, Alexis,
Whoa.
it's gonna
Studio's
explode.
on fire. Jeez.
I am letting it out. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's the dumbest thing. Why did you have to make her sick and infected
Yeah.
to make the storyline work? You didn't have to.
Unclean.
It was working. Like, that's the thing, is the storyline was working, them
Yes.
coming together, and so it was like, why stop it? Because even Tracy is on their side.
Yes.
She get her a job. She's concerned
Yeah.
about her. I like that. So why did you need to add this? I mean, I guess to bring Elizabeth in, but it's like, she's got her own thing.
Yeah.
Jane's got her thing, whatever.
And my other mini rant for today, if you're going to bring back Brad, the same week you have, I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking, well, not you guys, but
Whoa.
the powers that be. Why don't you bring back Lucas to be there for his sister's child's funeral?
yeah.
That makes no sense. The funeral was good. The funeral was a really good funeral, but he should have been there, and that was such a dumb move.
Yeah, Brittany Lamka tweeted me earlier this week, haven't seen Lucas in forever. Reminds me of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, only it's Where in the World is Lucas Jones.
Nice.
I don't want to defend them, but I think it's because Ryan Carnes has so much other stuff going on.
Does he really?
But, I mean, that's what I've seen, but yeah.
He keeps Instagramming stories on movie sets.
Oh, okay. God
But
bless America.
still, you could work it out.
Well, no, but I can understand that if Jason's not giving him much to do, you gotta look for something else.
Yeah, no, that's part's true. That part's true too. I mean, he's a good actor. I mean, he can
Yeah.
act. So it's like, they want him somewhere else. But I just think they'd have to make her sick. I like that she wanted her redemption was going to be fixing the hospital budget. That to me, I was like, okay, I can see that. Her and Tracy becoming friends.
Yeah.
And Brad tussling with Finn was a great thing too. But like he's like, I've been around a long time too, and he's done some things himself. I like that whole thing. He's not innocent himself, but he's concerned. He wants a new life. He's trying to turn over a new leaf. I like all that was in place. But then you do this where you make her sick and go to the Quartermaine house. I'm like, oh my God. I'm not happy about that.
No, the scene with him and Brad was just excruciating. Just, with the beaker and just like, set the beaker down. No, why? What's wrong? I was like, oh, please, just. And why is Robin back in town if she's not here to help Finn solve this thing once and for all? And
Right.
so we could just sweep that under the rug. And yet I've not seen those two come close to each other's orbit yet.
No, Robin left.
Robin left.
What was that?
See?
What was that?
What? I thought she was supposed to be coming have important roles in
Right.
many storylines.
Yeah.
She had to go
did
back
zero.
really quick. She couldn't come to the funeral.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Sonny's one of your best friends. You couldn't come to his funeral.
That was so
There was
odd.
like some bizarre emergency back home.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, nah. That's just not happy.
I'm trying to figure out what bizarre emergency trumps a funeral, but
Right.
No.
Right.
Okay.
She said Trump. Anyway, so yes, it's just crazy. I don't say anything else. But no, it's just. I mean, it was just such a. The whole setup was just really. I think it was unnecessary.
It is, and I do like the idea, like when Laura comes up to Tracy at the end and says, "Oh wow, you really do care for Hayden as well." That was a nice little
That was
acknowledgement.
nice.
Yeah,
That was nice.
Yeah, and I like that Laura cared too. She's
Yeah.
like, she was concerned with Finn. Like, I think she's realized Hayden's not as bad as she thought.
Yeah.
The one thing was nice though to figure out who was kind of behind the GH possibly being renovated into condos. With that, Julian was the guy.
Yes. I get a twist.
Julian's behind every bad thing that happens now.
But who was that GH board member they hired? He was the pits, guys. His eyes were just like,
Hey, he got a role though on the
He did.
hospital.
I'll get up for him, but man, ooh, what a creepy board member.
Yes, he was kind of creepy.
well, that's where untrustworthy is. It has to be in the eyes, right?
Yeah, no,
I guess
yeah,
so.
exactly. But yeah, I like the fact that Julian's behind kind of something. I'm like, okay, I like the little twist.
Yes.
That's fine.
No, I just seen Tracy from across the Metro Court, just like, oh, all right.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I agree with that. People were like, I wanted a Robin Carly scene. I know.
yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, history.
Yeah, it just,
my God.
GH frustrates me on these things. I mean, they've done it with Robin now. They did it with Jax when he was here back a little while ago, where they just come on for these couple days and you're
Yeah.
like, that was it?
That's it.
That was it. Why bring in such a great actor and great
Yeah.
character and then that was it?
I agree.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about Jackson in a
Yes.
second. We'll talk about that later.
Speaking of awkward scenes that happen in the Metro Court, we've got Charlotte with the multiple fathers and all the awkwardness.
Yeah.
You're not the father. You're not the father. You're not the father.
Man, this is just...
You guys know that Charlotte is Lulu and Stavros' daughter.
Yeah,
That's
quit
my
dragging
whole
it
thing.
out. I mean, we
At
get
this
it.
point, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why DNA can work because Valentine and Stavros are both cast lines, so it totally works that way if they want to do anything like that. I'm not surprised.
But it seems so weird. Like, why are we doing this to this poor kid? Like, again and again. And she's
I
still
know.
like,
She's
somebody's
like,
right by.
hi. She's like, she's a happy little actress. She's like working it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's adorable.
She's adorable. She's really cute.
cute,
She's really cute.
yeah.
I was like, is that my new Brooklyn Ray? Brooklyn Ray Sills is my girl. Everybody knows. But no, she's a really cute actress, and her chemistry with everybody is kind of cute. And she ran to Valentine. I was like, oh my God, it's you. I mean, so they know each other, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah, it's
That
cute.
was actually kind of a cute scene and sort of humanized Valentine a little more.
Yes.
To me, her and and Nina really give him a little bit more depth.
Yes,
and,
I agree.
You know, so he's not just pretty.
Yeah, he's hot. He's hot. No, he's hot too.
Yeah.
You know, he was some Jane Patrick Stewart. He's working it out. So
Okay.
yes. So yeah. So now Anna has a plan, kind of. We don't know what the plan is.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. I mean, I guess that just it ties in that we've got Valentine and Nina, but with the flirting and the chatting. And I'm trying to figure out, because Laura talks to, of course, we have Carolyn talked about it last week, where she gets to translate Greek.
Yes.
So she breaks it down to Alexis. Yep. Guess what he does? He is entitled. He is a Castellan heir, so he does get the house and the fortune. So that does make sense when Laura says, well, why did he do all this stuff then on Castellan Island? Which is true.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the whole reason for that.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah, I was kind of confused. I was with Laura. I was like, thank you for saying that, because I don't get it. Why would all of that happen?
I'll give Laura credit. Jeannie Francis worked that scene too.
yeah.
She looked like a raccoon afterwards. She was like really crying. I was like, why did he go through all that and Nicholas die for nothing?
I just
really?
every scene she brings it.
know.
Every scene she's
You
in.
folks, Jeannie Francis can act. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Get her some scenes. She can act. Come on. Let's pull her. Let's get more scenes like that.
I mean, because I feel like it's tough when you have like somebody like Valentine. You want to have him kind of like, oh, is he a good Castellan? Is he a
Right.
bad Castellan? But you bring him on in the way where he kills Nicholas, and so
Yes.
there's no doubt in the audience's
Yeah.
mind, like, no, he's a bad dude. So now you're trying to backpedal. It's like, maybe I misunderstood. Like, no, we saw you do this horrible thing. So how can we actually root for you at this point?
General Hospital has a habit of doing that.
Yeah.
They'll push a character to the brink and over, and then try to save them.
Julian.
Yes, right. Or Franco, or any of them.
Yeah.
Yes, they do that. They do that. Sonny, they do that for all of them.
Well, and at least with Franco, once Roger took over the role and decided to change it, most of it has been petty at best, like nothing too sinister. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, him revealing the AJ stuff, it's like, he's not the bad guy in that
No, that one,
situation.
no.
Right.
But yeah, like with Julian, it's just like, where did you think he was going to come back from this?
Yeah.
And, same thing with Valentine. And I do believe that a lot of this had to do with the contract issue with Tyler Christopher, because they planned on Nicholas coming back. He wasn't really going to be
right.
dead.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be honest, that still may happen.
Right, that's the way it
Yeah.
happened. I love when Diane went off on Julian. Though. It's like, that when you tried to hold a knife to her, when you tried to kill her, and I love that she stood up to him. She's like, this person has more than just lipstick in it. I love those lines she had. It showed Carolyn Hennessy being a little serious, actually, defending her friend.
Right.
And because she can't be funny, but we see her on other shows, she can be serious. But she was like defending her friend. It was like, no, Julian, you did wrong.
I
You went too
love
far.
that, yeah.
Yeah, she went, you did wrong.
But I did like when Tracy comes into Metro Court and she just like just says, Tracy, boom, 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 come
then-
here.
yeah.
I'm not going to come to you. You come to me. I'm sitting here like
Yes.
cocktail in my hand.
Yes.
One thing I do like though on GH is they do have friendships.
Yeah, they do.
There are friendships. There's some of the soap operas seem to be backing away from showing sincere
Yes.
friendships.
Yes. But the problem with GH, though, also with the friendships, is they forget some. Like,
Yeah.
why aren't Maxie and Sam talking?
Yeah, because Maxie and Sam are almost as good of friends as her and Lulu.
Lulu, exactly.
And they just
Yes.
forget that.
And a lot of folks in the chat room always mention that, too. It's like, why aren't they talking more together? And she's pregnant. Why aren't they, talking about that? And the wedding, why isn't Sam part of, so yeah. I know they have a large cast. I know it's part of it.
Right.
You can't feature, it's not like Bold and Beautiful where it's like a half-hour soap and half the cast. I mean, you have to, try to feature everybody. And you have to rotate them out, I guess. So, I mean, it's kind of rough. I try to remember that when I rant about the show. I try to remember that.
As we're talking about people from the past, we have Jax and the hugging and the comforting.
I will say, okay, first of all, I'm going to say this 100,000 times. Laura Wright should have to just give her the Emmy. I watched all the soaps, and there's a lot of great actresses out there doing some great work. Like Rena Sofer on Bold and Beautiful, she's doing some great work for now. It's doing some great work. But I'm just saying, when Jax walked through the door, and she had that look like we all do when we see somebody that we just, like, oh, it's you, thank God. Like, almost like, just like, thank God you're here. And I'm so glad you're here. She didn't even have any words. She just kind of like, her shoulders just kind of went down. It was just like, yes. And when they hugged, the history hugged, they finally addressed the Morgan Jax history, finally.
Yeah, I was so happy to have that scene. And Jax is like, of course, as soon as Michael called, when I got the call, I came. Because, Morgan, was so important to me, too. This is them correcting what they didn't do the last time, I feel.
Agree.
Yeah, it's like, they're like, we messed up. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Because they really did address it. And when he hugged Sonny and talked, it was a truthful scene. it's like he was part of Morgan's life. It was a large part of his life.
I really liked when Jax and Sonny had that moment, and then Jax still like, you brought a gun to your son. Like, Jax is still Jax, but he's trying to be good.
Yeah, he's trying to be good.
I love
what do you guys
Jax.
think?
Could we just focus on that really awkward hug between Sonny?
I loved it. It was so realistic though. Like they're not friends. They hate each other.
No,
You know, and I love it. It was just like, well, they did it twice because they did it at the end of the episode one day and they redid it again the next day. It was like both times were awkward, just like, and then Sonny's like, and Sonny's so short compared to him. It's like, you know, but Jax came back. I was happy.
Yeah, and I hope that they'll figure out this whole Nell thing, because she clearly hates Jax.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah, and that to me is the only person I could think her being related to that seems to be associated with the father or something. Could be that cute guy, Australian guy that was involved. What was his name? Ewan.
Yeah.
That was the hot doctor that they should have never killed off because he had great chemistry with Liz, the backstory with Jax. It's like, I know she didn't have the accent, but they could easily have moved here. I mean, John Barrowman doesn't have a Scottish accent.
Right. Yeah,
very true.
But also, the other part I have to rant about, you know, we love our Lexi because we see her saying here, Lexi Ainsworth. Her being angry about Jax being there, where did that come from?
Yeah, I would have slapped her.
That didn't make sense.
It did, right?
Yeah,
It makes sense. You fans like, it makes sense, right? It makes sense, right?
It was sort of selfish, and that's the thing. Is like, I'm surprised. Luckily, no one else saw that because even Molly probably would have slapped her and been like, you know, that's Jocelyn's dad. And he loved Morgan. You know, Carly. You know, Michael. They need Jax because Jax isn't a slobbing, selfish prick like your dad. Sorry, I just.
And Jax was his stepdad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a difference. He wasn't somebody that he didn't meet till he was an adult, and he was there.
Yeah, when Morgan was a child, Jax was very close with him. I mean, he even tried to adopt him at one point when Carly tried to take him away from Sonny when Michael was shot.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. So to me, it was like her being. I mean, I see what they're trying to do. It's like, okay, you side with your father, you two go with your mother, you go with Jax, you stay with mom, you with Alexis. It was like trying to divide the kids. But I did like the hug together they had. It was kind of cool. But Jax came back, smart move. And I read in some I think that Jax wants to come. I mean, Ingo wants to come back. I mean, he wants to be on the show.
I'd welcome it. It'd be great to have him in there.
I agree.
But it's always that awkward moment there where he has to ask somebody about their illegal kidney operation. Just there's never a good way to just segue into that.
No.
Hey, how much do you remember about that?
Yes.
Like,
exactly.
All right, Jax, why did you? That I feel like that was just mainly for the audience. Like, hey, just so you remember, guys, Jax said may have something to do with this, so we'll have him awkwardly bring this up again with Nell.
I keep thinking that Jax is like an illegitimate dad. You know, like that we're going somewhere there, which is why it was such a good match.
Yeah. I'm reading KLD Interiors. So you think this person says a lot of people on these shows rely on funerals and death for Emmy reels, but they're really good. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like Laura Wright's really doing a great job. I never lost a child. I lost a brother recently, but I never lost a child. And I feel like she's doing a great job. I think she's doing a great job doing the grief.
I do think she's doing a good job. I think was prolonged for such a long time after the death that I kind of wished the note would change a little bit. I kind of was seeing the same thing, and I didn't want to because she is a powerful actress. We could have seen a few things different.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they waited so long for the funeral, maybe to get certain people there, like Ingo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's very much like how Y&R had even been last couple weeks. For 3 weeks, they were just repeating the same stuff on both shows, and it's like, okay, I get Sweeps is coming, but you could have filled that in a little better.
So someone says, could Nell be Jerry's kid?
I've hoped for that.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I know. That would be
good. That'd be good.
Jerry Jax. Oh my God. Anything to bring Sebastian Roche back. I mean, I'm happy. He's amazing.
Because it's interesting to see what Nell says about like her family. They were poor, so whether he's really Jerry Jax's kid, but he passed her off to somebody else to raise her, because otherwise, I mean, she would. It doesn't make sense that Jerry would be that person that's like poor. 'Cause, I mean, Jerry's always moving around and not around enough that I think the way he's up to stuff, like he would be around for while she was growing up.
People are thinking that they're thinking that right now.
And that to me is just like, I could see it being Jerry and that being the reason she seems to hate Carly and want to take her life and has an issue with Jax. That's why I thought about Ewan. Because of the Dead Man's Hand storyline, and with Jerry, it's just like I can see that too. But Jerry loves Jax and Jocelyn.
Yeah, he does.
You know, but at least she does seem to care about Jocelyn.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, and speaking of, well, let's talk a little bit about Nell because she's got the secrets now. She's got that purse with like a letter in it.
The letter.
Yes.
Hey, how many times you look at that list? It's an old soap staple where they carry the letter around and keep looking at it over and over again. I'm like, okay, we saw the letter. I almost wait. Well, you see Bobby at the funeral when she brought the earrings. Bobby's looking like, gave her the side eye. When she, I was like, you go, Bobby, because Bobby's like, she got her number. Like, I know bitches like you because my daughter was one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I almost wish they went a different direction. I'm really curious to see what happens with Nell. I like the actress. So I'm curious to see what happens. But I almost wish they went a different direction. I thought she'd be nice. I thought she'd be a nice person.
Yeah, but she's going to be crazy.
She'll be crazy, apparently.
That's how they bring all women onto this show.
God,
it
I guess
seems.
so. So I'm like, I'll watch and see what happens.
J.A. has a good suggestion. Maybe Nell is Sonny's ex-lover Reese's daughter. Remember Carly had
Reese? Oh my God, that's right. That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's reaching back. That's interesting.
That's kind of random, but could work.
I was like, as far as who she hates.
Well, you think
Reese's,
about it because you can actually, with characters like that who weren't so fully formed and are so kind of random, you can kind of create something out of that. Maybe. I guess. Like, you brought back Valerie Grant on Days of Our Lives. Like, that character was on for a minute back in the 80s. They brought her back, or 90s, they brought her on. So they can create something newer, I guess, with old, I guess, maybe. And that's just interesting. I never thought of that. I forgot about Reese.
Well, I love seeing Bobby sort of having. I really do love seeing
Deja vu.
Bobby having a number, and because Bobby was not such a pretty character.
Oh, no, she wasn't either. No, she wasn't.
Oh,
She was a.
Yes,
a real,
what was she? What was she,
real
Carolyn?
bitch.
Yes! That's right. We know you're a good girl. We can say bitch.
She would say
Just off the rails, I see.
I know
I'm here.
It's the booze. Just keep it flowing.
Just gonna leave it on the line, animals.
You're corrupting Carolyn.
I was going to say you're encouraging me, Alexis.
That's
I like that sound.
You like that sound? I love it. But the thing is, Bobby brought Luke to town. For those guys who don't remember or didn't know the show back then, Bobby brought Luke to town to mess with Scotty and Laura because she likes Scotty. It was a whole story. I mean, that's when I first started watching. It was back then, in the late 70s. I was a mere 2-year-old, but I did watch it.
And then we have Nell pulling out that letter again, or holding up Sonny's letter, and says, I don't know what Sonny wrote in this, but your day's about to go, from bad to worse.
And doesn't give it to her.
Yeah.
It's in her purse.
It's like that crazy moment.
Anyway, I'm like, I ordered that one.
I know. I was really hoping that she was going to get up at the funeral to start speaking and then just start laying in.
Yes.
I was like, please let do that because this funeral is the pits, guys.
No, funerals are supposed to be the pits.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I guess that dovetails into like Sonny and the gun and the suicide note. Oh my goodness, this storyline was.
This is where I'm upset about. I'm like, to me, why are you trying to kill yourself in front of everybody?
Yeah, in front of your other kids who are grieving, Carly, Jace, all these people you're supposed to care about. That's why I would say, sorry guys, I've been right all along. Sonny is a selfish piece of crap.
And I was trying not to believe that, but this, I was like, I couldn't believe what he did.
Me either.
No.
I was blown away.
Yes.
Bad choice of words, but
Yes.
it just didn't make any sense to me because Sonny's supposedly all about family.
Yeah.
When it's not about his business, it's about family. So that made no sense to me, and
agree.
it didn't respect Morgan.
It didn't.
Yeah.
I liked when he first went up to the casket and was feeling his feelings. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I thought he was going to do it, like, after the funeral goes somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, kind of. And then maybe somebody stop him, but, like, it wouldn't be at the funeral.
Yeah, it'd be like Nell or Carly.
Yeah, or
Jason.
something,
It
yeah.
would have been somebody there. But yeah, to do it that, and I was just like, yep, I've been right all along, guys.
Just like, really, folks? And Maurice Bernard deserves so much better than
Yeah,
that. I mean,
he's
come on.
such a good actor,
He's such
and
a
I
good
really
actor.
like him. But that's why I hate that I hate Sonny. It's just he's Stephen Amell is Oliver Queen. Like I like you, but why do you have to pay such a piece of crap?
The funeral was right. See, I didn't think the funeral was terrible. I just thought it's a funeral. I thought that Eden. I said Eden. No, now I know where it's Eden. Jocelyn's scene was cute. I thought that's why not. They always have a song at a funeral. That's fine.
Yeah, I liked that. They just dubbed it weird because she has a beautiful voice, but yeah, it just seemed dubbed weird.
But having Dante speak and Michael's, that was fine. And Christine, I thought the funeral was a funeral. I mean, it's kind of how that works.
I think for me, I thought it was going to be something more significant and I know it's a funeral, you're right.
Yeah.
Because it took so long to get to that place.
I agree.
It took forever. He was dead for a while before this funeral, and I would have thought that there was. And also, I'm a little confused about the casket. I have to be honest. I didn't think there was going to be a
No,
cancer.
well,
Yeah.
okay, here's my point. I actually like this idea. This would never happen in real life because it's not a soap opera, but since there was no body, they said they put all this stuff inside for memories. That's what
that's
cast.
right, that's right.
And I did like, I was
you're
like,
right,
that's
I
really
forgot that.
original. I never heard
Right.
it before in my life. It was like, they put like his certificates and Cardi spoke and everything. I thought, that's actually, because I was thinking, why is there a casket? There's no body. But he explained
Right,
it.
right.
I actually like that idea.
Okay,
She's
so
not
My
feeling it.
family's
You're not
cheap.
feeling it.
We don't believe in burials. We're like waste of money, especially. It's like
My family's
donate your
same thing,
body
too.
to science and have a memorial with an open bar.
But I
Yes.
agree with Carolyn because it felt so weird when Carly said 3 weeks ago that this, the funeral was going to happen November 11th. That was
Yeah.
so far off that I thought they were building up towards something big.
big,
And
yeah.
other than Sonny doing this terrible thing with the gun, like I was expecting a bigger revelation, like Nell getting up and really blowing things apart. There would have been kind of
Yes,
cool.
that's what I was thinking. Something dramatic would happen at this funeral.
Yeah, and it's just been kind of so far a letdown. Maybe Monday we see something more added, but so far I'm like, oh, this is it. Great.
Our Melvin fan, you're hilarious.
Yeah.
That's really funny, your comment.
I know.
No, but it's just it's I don't know. The funeral didn't bother me so much. The funeral was actually okay to me. It's fine. It didn't bother me so much. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. Everybody was there who should have been there, except for a few people. People
Yeah.
were there.
Yeah,
Jax was
where's
there.
Ava? Come on, guys.
I know.
Well,
She should have been there.
No, they said Kiki told her,
Yeah.
don't come.
Well, and I do want to give Ava props for listening and not doing
Yes.
that, but it's still like,
And I have to say, the Dylan and Kiki scene, giving it a minute or two would have been really good and sweet and appropriate. I kind of thought that went on a little bit
I agree.
Yeah.
I
further
agree.
than it needed to be.
I agree.
Because it's the same thing, once again, reiterating things we've been hearing for the past 3 weeks. Anyway.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah, if I had another conversation with Kiki saying, Dylan, I'm a terrible person. I just can't be with you because what we did was just we killed Morgan. Like, oh, okay, enough.
Right, enough. I agree with you on that one.
everyone killed Morgan, let's face it.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like GH because I can understand you want to tease the audience and you want to put up these little momentary obstacles between couples getting together, these little roadblocks. But I feel like GH does a great job of making these roadblocks just like cliffs, and then they just fall, and two characters will just fall off that, and they never get back together. They just can't make it work, and I don't know why GH does that because I think everybody's been so invested in Kiki and Dylan relationship for a long time, and they've just done nothing but sabotage that the whole way there. And then finally, all right, we're gonna do it. Nope, we're finally just gonna cut him off right at the legs.
It's very similar to like Hayden and Finn, and Frizz is actually the only one sort of going on that had taken so long to come on. At least they've kissed, but yeah, it's like Hayden and Finn, the sickness, Kiki and Dylan, all this Morgan nonsense. It's like we want these people together because they didn't start hopping into bed, but let's not take too long.
Yeah, especially when it's up saying like, "Hey, we want to bring back the love, back to daytime,"
Yeah.
and then you keep seeing these relationships just get stymied and broken up and delayed. You're like, well, where's this love in the afternoon? You keep talking about that you want to bring back to the soap.
Yeah.
And I think one of the other relationships that they've been successful doing this on was Laura and
Kevin,
Kevin.
yeah.
That's been working. The
Yes.
thing that separated them made sense.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
It made and then the making up,
Yeah.
that made sense.
Yeah.
And it didn't take 6 weeks to do it.
Yeah.
It was very grown up. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that one, and
Yeah.
I thought that it was time wise worked out really well.
Yeah. And yeah, where was Valerie at the funeral? She's a Spencer and Carly's cousin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Working the beat. She's working her beat, guys.
The day off.
That's right. Let's move to that. If we're talking about Port Charles here, let's just talk about the other hot, smoldering storyline. We've got Curtis and Jordan and Andre.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm all in.
We need more Andre and Anna scenes, though.
Yes.
I love her being mommy to Dr. Hot Priest and sort of replacing that good relationship she had with Patrick.
Yes.
But it's like, Anna needs to get it on.
Oh, you think yes, she does with
Andre.
Andre. I like that. I do. And I think Curtis and Jordan was going to get it on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest chemistry I've seen in
Yeah.
a long
Oh,
time.
yeah. Oh,
Whoa,
yeah.
hello.
Oh, easily. I'm like, because I made a comment last weekend. I saw some comments online because of my comment about how Valerie and Curtis were just like, they were so thrown together. They didn't even show them. So when they broke up, who cares,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Right.
These are two hot people who probably could have chemistry if we had seen them, and we didn't. But him and Jordan, they got it. They got it.
Yeah.
Sex on a stick there.
They got it. I'm like, I'm all in. I'm like, and Jordan always looks cute. She has a cute outfit, so it always works her out. So I'm all in. I'm all in.
But once Jordan gave Andre that stupid hat, you knew that relationship was never going
You
anywhere.
don't like accessories.
Yeah, Frank Frank hates that hat. I thought it was adorable.
Oh my
I know it was
gosh.
too. I liked it too. I'm like,
No
I like
way.
the hat.
You barely know this person. You give them a terrible hat. Oh.
The Indiana Jones hat, and I like to think that they just thought it was too sexy for daytime with the whip.
Yes. I love it.
We also have a scene that I felt like has potential, but it seemed like they kind of just cut it off the legs for right now too. Was Tracy blackmailing Ava? Lucy blackmailing
Oh,
Ava.
I love that Lucy was the one who
yes.
found out. I was
Yes.
like, Grace of history, something different. Why not?
And a good way to bring Lucy in.
Yes.
And then there's that, the fact that Ava's such good friends with Scotty.
Yes.
So I kind of like that. And now that Laura's with Kevin, it's like, what can we give Lucy to do? And I like that. She's like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Ava, thanks for giving me the idea.
I know. I loved it.
And they're funny, yeah.
But like Lynn Herron's so awesome. I don't want this to be like something that we've saw now and then it's going to be months and months and months before it's picked back up again. And the way that scene ended, it felt like that was.
Might
That was
happen.
the
Yes.
end of it for a while.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that was it. Like, I'll just put it. It's great for one day to her to kind of, put the screws to Ava, and then like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to say
And it was
anything.
fun because Ava was really panicking. I love that. That was really cool. It was really fun watching that.
I love that Ava will never give it up, though. She will just lie and lie and lie and deny no matter what.
That's why she's my
a
girl.
hoot. She's a hoot. She's a hoot.
Mara West is doing a great job, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to give it to her because I'm like, she's somebody I always went back and forth on her character. Not her, but a character. I loved her as Carly in all As the World Turns for years. She was so good. And I was like, okay, well, I'll see what's going on. Ava's kind of bad, but no, she's kind of got heart. No, she doesn't have, I mean, she keeps me on my toes the whole time.
I love Ava.
Yeah,
like
I know you
her
love
lack
this.
of shame, and then Maura West is just so fantastic.
is.
Ava is a character that is always entertaining, much
Yeah.
like and she's probably at least on screen a little bit more than Scotty and stuff like that. But that's the thing that's why I love them together as friends because they're both always entertaining, no matter
Yeah, I
what they're
agree.
doing. Yeah.
I agree.
When Ava said to Lucy, you can't tell Sonny and Carly because that'll make them feel even worse. Like, really telling them the truth is going to make them feel even worse?
Right.
Oh, all right.
But I love, like Jay says, this was classic Lucy. Lucy's a tough chick. She is. She was like, she's like, whatever. Lucy's been around the mob before and everything. She has a whole history back in the day. She was the mousy librarian, of course, and then came in. Remember all that story in Caroline?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I still remember the red dress wedding. So
Yeah. Oh, me too. Oh, the Ellen with the big hat. I love that. Oh my God, she was the bomb.
I remember when Port Charles first started, my mom was like, you always reminded me of Lucy.
Oh, she did. Oh, funny. Oh my God.
Oh
That's
my.
like funny. I was like, I think that's a compliment.
We're Sigmund the Duck.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're Sigmund, and apparently there is some news regarding
Yes, you guys
Andre.
told me.
Like they were talking about it in the chat, so I wanted to verify. But Anthony Montgomery says he's not leaving GH. The team behind the new sci-fi series they want me to join after he's done with GH is whenever that is.
Andre
So,
stays. Hashtag.
yeah. And I agree. I was like, there's so much chemistry there with Anna, and I know that both of them had stuff to do during the summer, so they sort of had to stop that. But
Yeah.
let's see that storyline.
Yeah, I think so. He's not going. So you guys read? He's saying he's not going anywhere
Yeah.
anytime soon. I believe him. I think he's going anywhere anytime soon. It's just that he does science fiction. He has a book called Miles Away. He's an author. He does have science fiction world. He used to be on Star Trek.
Enterprise,
So,
yeah.
Enterprise. So I mean, he has a sci-fi connection. But he's on GH right now. He's on there. He's working it out.
Yeah, we've always talked about how huge his cast is.
Yeah.
That even though there are actors that are talented, like Anthony Montgomery, and have potential for storylines, there's just such a huge cast that it takes forever to get around
Yeah.
to some of them, and some people just kind of get left on the back burner for longer than they should.
They do, and I also remember that because I said I covered 2 soaps, and the other soap was a half hour, and they seem to showcase everybody because they can, because it's only a half hour and it's half the cast. The cast isn't as large as Days of Our Lives or General Hospital or Young and the Restless. I mean, they're all large casts.
Yeah, and he'd had a torn ACL, I think, or MCL.
Yeah,
it was one of them
something, yeah.
that had sort of sidelined him in the summer, which tended to work out because we're looking for the build-up with him and Anna,
Mm-hmm.
and they still have that chemistry. Let's get to that storyline. But Toph London brings up a good point.
yeah.
Does Ava know about Lucy and Daddy Jerome?
That's
so
right.
Maybe that's leading to what I possibly know about.
Yeah, because I forgot that. The whole, the
Yeah.
father, that's right. It was like, and or is Olivia Jerome still alive? And then it also, that all brings in Lucas, of course, because he's part of the Jeromes, of course, and all that stuff. So
Well, anything that would give me more Lucy Coe would be
I'm
fantastic.
saying I love
Yes.
Lynn Herring, so I think
Yeah,
she's
I love
just
Lucy.
amazing. I think it's amazing. I love Lucy. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And a couple of little things. Well, let's just give a shout out to Molly and her new do there at the funeral.
It was cute.
Yeah,
I like
there
Ricky
you
Lake
go.
just high and tight there, looking
Yeah.
out curly. Yes.
And then we've got Obrecht. Lots of Franco advice giving, and then also just like relishing being able to rat on Dr. Finn.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is after him.
Yeah.
We had Kathleen on our shows, and she always talking about how funny how she's just so after him. Like, it's like, what is that about? She's so obsessed with him. Anytime I get to see Kathleen on screen, so I'm like very happy to see her on there.
Yeah, and it was so funny. I liked how her and Brad kind of like teamed up
Yes.
against him.
Yes.
You know, I would like to see more of her and Brad working together because they're
That would
both
be
sort of
fun.
the shade.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be
They're fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
And that was the week that was.
Bye, guys. And unfortunately, we have to end. Carolyn, any last thoughts about General Hospital this week that you have? Anything we missed or didn't cover?
Oh, Mr. didn't cover? No, you covered
You got
everything
everything?
that I
You
was.
got it. Okay, good.
Yeah,
You
no,
saw
it was
it.
great, and this has been a lot of fun for me. Thank you so much.
How's it been here in Los Angeles, in North Hollywood and everything? How's it been for you?
I'm having so much fun here. I came also because Day of
Day
Days.
of Days.
But I was here for a week so I could do some other stuff here. And
Yeah, I
meet
saw.
some,
Yes.
You
Did you
know,
get to go to
everybody who
Paley Center?
follows
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
tweeting. No,
Yes.
I been visiting with a
Yeah.
lot of the
Yes.
cast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which has been a lot of fun. And this is great. This is such a special treat for me. I love it. And considering I'm a person who doesn't even like to fly, this whole thing, coming here in and of itself was
Girl,
a
I'm
huge...
with you on that. I hate flying. I hate it so
Thank
much.
you.
I love flying because that's the only time I get to watch movies and be able to concentrate.
True. That makes a lot of
I
sense.
hate flying too, girl.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I actually had a friend come 4 hours out of her way to hold my hand across the continent.
wow.
That was
Oh,
really
that's so
neat.
That
yeah,
is sweet.
it
That
was.
is sweet. That is sweet.
Right. Can
Girl,
I do a shout out to
anytime,
her?
I'll just hop up on a plane with you.
Here we go. You and me, Alexis.
Yes.
Well, now there are Sunday Soap Block, huge here at AfterBuzz, and
Yeah.
a lot of people in there, of course, love James Lott Jr. So, what's it like to tell the fans, just to be this close, up close and personal with James Lott Jr.?
It's
What's
the
it like?
best. It's the best. And the James Lott Jr. hug I waited for, I got.
She got it.
I got
There
it.
you go.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
waiting
totally
for
worth
it. Yeah.
Totally worth to fly across the country.
I know Daytime asked in the chat, what did it feel to actually meet all of us, including Alexis, for the first time?
Oh, it was fabulous.
Mine was,
I'm in
Carolyn was
awe.
like, you were underwhelming in person. She said that to me. And I was like, I can't disagree with you, Carolyn.
Oh, my word.
No, it was wonderful because the first thing they said was, I got champagne. So I was
Yes.
like,
Yeah, you're
these
fine.
people are great.
We gotta treat you. We gotta
Yeah,
treat you
last
well.
night the Days people gave me Jello shots, and now I'm getting champagne.
Yes.
Make everybody
That's why I'm pretty
Everybody
quiet
drunk.
today, guys.
Exactly.
Shady Sundays.
Shady Sunday. Shady
I'm
Sunday.
sure my husband's at home and he goes, she never drinks.
Start, baby girl.
Get it.
So,
Start.
do you want to give any shout outs to anybody since you're on? That's your camera this, since you're on here?
Oh, well, shout outs? Wait, well, first of all, shout out to Joni who helped
Yes,
me get on that
Joni.
plane.
Joni!
Yes.
And, that,
There we go. Yes, there we go.
and shout out to my husband, David,
Yes.
for being so cool
Yeah.
about letting me go away
Husband
for a week.
David.
Husband David, that's right.
He's so cool. He's like, is this your dream? Okay, go for it.
Aw.
He's really like that. He does.
You've been married how long?
I have been married 33 and a half years.
Wow. Look at
that.
And
Heck
the last time I was in LA was during my honeymoon.
Oh my God.
So this is a big deal for me.
yeah. That's so
Look,
great.
Frank's like ready to leave.
Oh, yep. See,
No, so okay, I want to ask you something.
What?
So Alexis is getting married, and what's one
yes.
piece of advice you want to
Thank
give
you.
her?
I was going to ask that. Thank you, James.
Yes, one piece of advice to her.
Well,
long-term
I'll give you a
marriage.
couple. Respect, giving each other your space,
Okay.
and never forgetting you really love each other when it comes down to it.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
that.
Her man's great. Her man
Yeah,
Neil is great.
Neil is such a
I love
sweetie.
Neil.
You're
I love
perfect
Neil.
for one
Yes.
I'll introduce you
Yeah.
after the show.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's here. He's here. He's
Yeah,
actually
you
here.
work together.
The whole family is here
The whole
tonight.
family's here
Robbie,
tonight.
Neil,
Dog is our
Yes.
love.
Oh yes, and her book. Carolyn
Yes.
is an accomplished authoress also, and that's her book. Run for
This
it
is
all.
this is my
ladies.
newest book. This is actually my 11th book.
Girl, I love it. Oh my God.
This
Wow.
one is Run for It All, and it's my first young adult book. And I
Yes.
write gay romance.
Okay.
That's why there's two
Is that
guys on the
funny?
cover.
Is that funny? There you go, girl. You go,
Look at that. There you go.
Yeah, she's an accomplished authoress. I love it. That's great.
A very Jonathan Jackson kind of look right there.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
A little young Lucky.
A little bit.
Little young
bit.
Lucky.
He looks
little
like
bit.
Steve Burton and Jonathan Jackson had a baby.
Had a baby.
Oh, should I mention? Because you could find like my
Tell him,
books.
please. Tell him.
I mean, I have the blog is CarolynTopolTalk.com, which is where I do a lot of entertainment
And the latest
stuff.
thing is my interview with me,
Yeah,
with James Lott Jr.
And just for the record, a couple weeks ago, I also put up
Yes,
an interview of the cruise show.
Yeah, I was there.
Yes, what we should do.
And but I have another website for my books only, which is CarolynLevineTopol.com, which is my whole author's name.
Oh, Cheryl Hawk says something, and don't be too quick to give up. Remember, there's a reason you said those vows, and they really do mean something. Alexis.
So true.
That's very nice of her to say that.
Yeah.
Wow. Carolyn, what did Jay just say? Something like, what does Carolyn smell like?
What?
It's right there, but I can't see it. Let's see what he say. I want you to do what you did, Carolyn. You are so lucky. I want you to do this too, Carolyn. What?
Oh, they want to do this too.
Yeah, Carolyn, cookies and good things, I bet.
Yeah.
Looks like that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, you guys, that's another edition of the GH Report. We did it. Sorry for taking any phone calls. We ran out of time. But we'll be back. Of course, I won't be here next week, but they will be here next week, unfortunately. We'll start with Frank Moran over there.
Clearly the least interesting person on the GH Report here. I mean, Carolyn didn't interview me, but that's cool. Whatever. I mean, I guess you can find my sadness and sorrow on Twitter at HappyGoJack.
And then Carolyn, tell me they can find you again.
Carolyn Topol on Twitter and Instagram, CarolynTopolTalk.com and CarolynLevineTopol.com. And I was going to ask Frank for his contact info after the show.
Sure, Carolyn. Sure.
And then Lacretia.
Well, I'm Lacretia Lyon, guys, so you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one. And I do a lot of other shows here, mostly with Frank.
Yes,
Legends
you
of
do.
Tomorrow, the Comic Book Exchange on Book Circle Online. And Frank is actually happier on those shows, guys. You should see it. It's fun.
Ooh, and John Del Rey
Yeah.
says, if Frank reads that book, I'm claiming him as my boyfriend.
All right.
Hey! Oh, my God.
There we go. Chapter 1.
That's so funny. Okay, okay. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me at James Lott Jr. on all the interwebs, of course. And stay tuned for Restless Wrap Up with Lacretia and Abby.
That's
And
good.
at 8 o'clock for me at Bold Breakdown, some good flashback clips of Stephanie and Donna and all that. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
I know.
The views
Like,
expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Your AfterBuzz TV